Hi business creators, it's Claire from Claire Wright, and today we're going to be talking about how you can organize your transactions when it comes to doing your bookkeeping. Now, if you've left it until the last minute to tackle those bookkeeping transactions, I'm wondering if there's a quicker way than staring at the seemingly never-ending list of transactions. So let's talk about how you can organize those transactions to make your bookkeeping easier. So firstly, we need to think about the process before we jump in, and this will help us to streamline it because there may be steps that need to be completed before others. So for example, you can't reconcile your bank account until all your transactions are imported in Wave. Like, you just can't do that. You can't match your bank account or reconcile it in QuickBooks or Xero until all your transactions are processed. So there's certain things that need to happen first. You can't add receipts to transactions if you haven't digitized or downloaded those receipts. So the specific steps you will take will depend on the functionality of your bookkeeping software, but it is important to think about stepping out that process so you know what you need to tackle first and you're not having to backtrack to pick things up. Now, the short answer to dealing with these transactions as fast as possible is to apply some batching to your bookkeeping, so tackling similar tasks together. Now, categorizing your expenses may seem like one big old similar task, but can you get even more specific with that similar? So the classic example in bookkeeping is maybe you can group or filter, depending on your software, your expenses by contact or supplier or person. Because if you can bring up, say, all the monthly subscription payments that you make to Zoom, you should be able to select those 12 and categorize them in one go. You can do this for income as well as for expenses. So if you have income coming in from a particular source or income that's a particular amount that all go to the same place, you can select all of those and do it in one go. This also really helps you to remember, not to have to remember what you put October's Zoom subscription as. Was that subscription, or was it internet software, or was it computer? If you do them all at once, it's done and you don't have to think about what you did last time. Now, the second way you can batch is when we talk about reconciling. We batch by source. So what we don't want to do is go through and reconcile all of our accounts, every single one for July, and then go and start again, go through everything and go through and do August. It's much easier to batch these by picking one source, aka one account, and reconciling all of the months right up to June, so we're not having to flick between different bank accounts or flick between different balances. Much easier to go July, August, September for one account. But I will talk about reconciling in a moment. Now, there is a subset of tackling batching when something feels overwhelming. You know, like digitizing all those receipts you've been saving. What we can do to remove or reduce some of that overwhelm is to apply a limit. Now, that limit could be a quantity limit, it could be a length of time limit, or a time period limit. So rather than having to face that entire box of receipts, you could do 20 receipts and then you can go away and do something else. Maybe it's 20 minutes, or maybe it's I'm just going to do July's receipts today. You can tackle things progressively. But it's important here not to add in an extra step, because don't decide you're going to do July, open the box of receipts and then realize they're not in chronological order and start organizing them, because that time is not serving you. If you're digitizing receipts, it is not necessary to organize those receipts in paper into chronological order, because that will happen when you digitize them. Now, thirdly, when it comes to making your transactions and bookkeeping as quick as possible, as easy as possible, you might actually be able to skip some of the tasks. Now, this seems like a bit of an insider secret, but you actually don't have to reconcile every single month of your accounts if all of your accounts reconcile at the end of June. So if you're doing a manual reconciliation like in Wave, what you can do is you can do a few months at a time, working from most recent backwards. So we check, firstly, does June 30th match? Okay, no, we need to go back further. What about March 31st? No, let's go back further. What about December 31st? Yep, that one matches. Great. Now we just need to start looking in January, February. We can put those balances in, and if they don't match, we can see where the issue is. What this does is it limits the number of transactions you have to match, and it highlights where the issue exists, and we can potentially skip reconciliations for July, August, September, October, November and December, because December matches, so we've actually reconciled it. So we're just reducing the workload by summarizing. Now, it is possible to have discrepancies that balance against each other. So a $30 expense you've missed could be offset by a $30 income you haven't entered, but this really is unusual, particularly within a certain time period, and it should actually be highlighted in your other cross-checks with external information. So you should be cross-checking your income, you should be cross-checking what came in through PayPal as a total that came in and as a total that went out. So we kind of do additional cross-checks that allow us to skip over some of the tasks that aren't serving us, that aren't absolutely necessary when we're time poor. So to sum up, there's kind of 3 questions that I think you should ask anytime you start a task. So firstly, are there other similar tasks that could be done quicker if I do them together? So things like downloading all of your purchases from Officeworks online account rather than just the one you need right now. You get them all and then they're ready. You're not having to re-log in to Officeworks every time a purchase comes up. Secondly, are there too many of this task? Is it going to take ages? And is that going to mean I'm going to put the task off? So are there too many things to do, like that shoebox full of receipts? And if so, then just allow yourself to break the task down to make it more manageable. Time limit, quantity limit, or a period of time limit. And then the third question, is this task absolutely necessary? And this potentially should be the first question. Is it doing its job, or is it not required because so many months later it is now irrelevant? If you would like my support to get you through your end of financial year, even if you have done nothing so far, and at the same time you would like to make your bookkeeping useful to your business and the quickest and easiest it could possibly be, then get in touch for a completely no obligation chat. I would love to learn more about your business and your challenges, because learning about your business helps me help others as well, and we can see if I am a good fit for your business. If this video has been useful, I would love you to give it a thumbs up or comment and let me know what you need to organize and how you're going to streamline your transactions. You can obviously subscribe for more content like this on making business finances quicker, easier, and actually work for your business.